happens when the hardest experience of your life turns into a problem worth solving? Today we have Kim Crossman here on the podcast.
Do you think the real skill to build a long-term personal brand is knowing how to keep reinventing yourself?
Yeah, although with personal branding, I don't think it's reinvention, it's growth.
Most of New Zealand will know her from Shortland Street, but since then she has built a career that has stretched through Auckland. You've been in LA, you've been everywhere, acting, comedy, hosting, emceeing, podcasting. You've spent almost 20 years building Kim Crossman as a brand. I'd say you probably now entered into the hardest part of your life, becoming a mum. That journey has actually led her to probably something she wasn't expecting as well, discovering Vital Bits as a customer, and now she is a co-founder of Vital Bits. So Kim, welcome to the show. You've been in the industry for 20 years. You've built this incredible personal brand on social media. Did you really consciously think about building it? Was it sort of like organic and...
Oh no, it was super conscious. So cast your minds back to 2006. I guess, 20 years ago. There you go. I was like, surely I'm not that old. No, gosh, spoiler alert, I guess I am. And I started working on Shortland Street. At the time, my sister was working with someone else in media who was making a website. This was back when websites sort of semi-pre-social media. And I really wanted longevity. I feel like with Shortland Street actors, at that time, people were always known as their character name, not the person behind the character. And I wanted longevity in my career. I love acting so much. It's my yum drug of choice. It's like where I feel most alive. So I didn't want it to end or be the Chris Warner. Mm-hmm. Shout out Michael Galvin. He's amazing, but he is Chris Warner. I was like, I want more than this. So I wanted to get people to know me as Kimberly Crossman or Kim Crossman. So I started a website. And so it was really my sister's brainchild of coming in. She's a genius. Shout out Rochelle.
She is amazing. She is personal branding queen.
Right. So I had a nepotism is alive and well. I had hooked into the mainframe of her brainchild, and she sort of helped launch me with a website, which ultimately then kind of developed into social media from there.
Yeah, because I guess it was before social media.
Mm-hmm.
So how was that?
I had a .com.
Yeah.
KimberlyCrossman.com. So when the whole drama with Kim.com happened and it went viral, I was like, oh my God, I've gone viral. And I was like, oh, no, not me, someone else.
Did you get a lot of website spikes in that time?
I did, yeah.
That's so funny.
Like, oh, well, ripple effect of that, I guess.
Yeah. But that was kind of before people really knew this buzzword of personal branding. So was just very organic for you? You were just like, I want people to see me as Kim Crossman?
Yeah, I think there was two parts to it. One, my character was a little snooty and a little bitchy. Can I say it? Can I cuss on this show? Mm-hmm. You can bleep it out. So I think I always felt this need to separate myself from Sophie, because when I was in public, people would assume that I was her. New Zealanders at that time really struggled to differentiate.
Shortland Street's real for them, you know?
Yeah. Well, we were in their house every night at 7 p.m. So if I would ever do something in the show or I was a little catty, people would feel the need to talk to me about it in public or throw drinks on me or give me side eyes. It got quite aggressive. So I felt like, I was like, oh, I'm Kim. I'm very vivacious, but I'm also quite meek and very nice. So I felt like whilst it was organic, I was trying to push an agenda of getting people to know me, not my character, because we had different values.
Yeah, gotcha. And so you've evolved between acting, comedy, and now business. So do you think the real skill to build a long-term personal brand is knowing how to keep reinventing yourself?
Yeah, although with personal branding, I don't think it's reinvention, it's growth. I think it's just if you have a growth mindset, if you want to continue to evolve, that whole saying oh, you've changed. Yeah, thank goodness we should, especially in this chapter in Motherhood. I feel like it's this, I'm calling it a 2.0, but it's probably like a 17.0. And I think you ladies can relate. If you're constantly growing, you should be evolving and your brand should be adjusting with that. I think there's some core values that obviously remain throughout. Generosity, curiosity, humor. But how that presents or how I'm showing up in that space, that's what I think keeps evolving. I would say motherhood is those things, but with a side of insecurity and a side of vulnerability and this also mama bear energy. So there's all these new feelings. And I think that my brand or me has to accommodate that as well. It's exciting. I'm equally steering the car and a passenger in it at the same time. And I think that's the duality that's probably hard to balance.
Yeah, that's such a great analogy because, I'm thinking like when your income depends on your personal image, it's like how much of what you're trying to build and what you're trying to put out there of yourself is a strategy compared to just being actually who you are and letting the right audience find you.
I think if I say that it's strategy, that gives me the ick a bit because that feels a bit disingenuous.
Yeah.
I think it's more about if I'm going to share something, which I'm also a chronic oversharer, so this comes with great ease to me. I know for some people showing up is the hardest thing. Sharing comes very naturally to me, and I'm in therapy for it. But I think the strategy part comes from like, how can I best be of service to that space rather than it being like, oh, I'm going to share this side of myself or this story as in it's some plot or agenda. I don't necessarily agree with that. I think it's more like, say, this postpartum journey. It's like, cool, I have engaged people. I'm interested. How can I contribute to the space or how can I speak more to it? But my audience gives me that in real-time feedback, which you'll find with customers or audience as well. It's like what they're engaging in that's where you kind of steering that car, So,
Yeah, totally. I mean, these days, like people just want real, right? Like we went back 5, 10 years ago, probably when you started that website, or I'm thinking like back when Instagram started, it was all about having that like perfect
curated.
aesthetic. Yeah.
Totally.
And that's how you get the highest engagement. And now it's like people like the real. They like the highs, the lows, the tears, the everything.
Yeah. And I'm very comfortable in that space. I know it gives some people the ick as well, but I think you're right. As a consumer of the internet too, like that's what I want to see. I want to like, give me the juice, let me in.
Yeah.
I want to feel like your mate, So
Yeah. And I guess it's gone like, it's with social media, it just feels like you can have these like really parasocial relationships where you want to see yourself in somebody. And yeah, I just think it's important to shop online and just be really authentic in that way. And I feel like people can tell when you're not being authentic these days as well. Yeah.
100%. Yeah, I can tell too. I'm like, come on.
Yeah. I mean, there's highs and lows.
Yeah.
Show the lows.
Show the lows. Yeah, and it's okay. And two things can be true too. You can be in a really great season and having a bad day, or you can be having a rough season but still find joy. So I think duality is a really difficult thing. I'm a very happy, bubbly person, but I also have depression and anxiety. So I think for people's brains, that can be hard to understand. And the same with businesses, right? It's like you want support, you want to grow these businesses, but then I'm sure when they are growing, there's also overwhelm and deadlines. So all things can be true.
Yeah. Do you think, do you think that you're somebody who finds opportunities? Or do you think you're someone who creates opportunities?
You're a go-getter.
I'm very much in my masculine energy. Like
I love that.
I don't like a closed door. I'll find an open window.
Yeah.
I also spent a lot of time in America. So I had this beautiful relationship with delusion where I think anything good can and will happen to me at any point in time. And I live in that. I love delusion. Americans, like they are so good at that. And I think Kiwis, we could take I think we're more inclined to think like, oh, I'll work really hard, or it's not meant to be, or it's easier to kind of lean into the negative. That's not a slight on Kiwis. I think it's our humbleness showing through. But Americans are so delusional. They think that that everything that they touch is going to turn to gold, and they act as that. And I think it's contagious, and I've caught a significant amount of it. But yeah, I'll also, exactly like this podcast, I will make it happen. I have no shame in emailing the person. I'd rather get a no than a not know and not try. Yeah, I'm also the sister of Rochelle, who literally makes shit happen daily. She lit up the bloody Harbour Bridge the other day. It's like you as well. It's, that energy is so contagious to be around. If you're around people who are go-getters, it naturally rubs off and you're like, cool, I should email that person. Shoot my shot Sunday or whatever it's called that people are doing, and just try, So.
We shot Sunday.
Like where you sounds there's a object. Yeah. No, where you email the person who could make your dream come true and just try it.
Yes.
Little no fear kind of.
Yeah, I kind of try and do that. I have like a little power hour where I'm like, all these things I've been procrastinating or things that I'm like overthinking. I'm like, in this 1 hour, I'm going to get every single thing done. And it's works out well. Yeah.
Do you have an addiction to efficiency?
I'm very type B, but do you know what like a type B personality is?
I know what it is. I just
Yeah.
don't know if I believe you.
Yeah, I am cosplaying as a type A person. Like I try so hard. I love being organized. I love like
Then aren't you
getting
just
stuff done.
type A?
No, because I think naturally, like if you go and look at Kim, if you go and look at my car right now, you're gonna be like, this girl is a type B. There's like there's a wardrobe, there's like coffee cups and stuff. Yeah, but I think it's
You
because I'm.
definitely are doing a job because you
Thank
do
you.
present type A.
Oh, thank you.
In
That's
a
what I'm
good
going. It's what I'm going for.
I feel like we can pick and choose what we're type A and B at.
Yes.
What are you?
I'm like an organizational freak. I love an itinerary to the minute. But then there's also things where I'm like, I don't care how this goes. So I feel like it really is dependent on what do I care about this thing, and if not, I'm gonna be a type B.
Yeah. See, I agree with that because my friends roast me all the time because they're like, you're so undomesticated because I have like microwave meals because I'm like, I can't bother. I can't bother going home and cooking. And they'll roast me because they're like, you don't clean. And I'm like, but do I need to? I'm trying to like make a successful like career and like look good and go to the gym at the same time. I'm like, that's what I'm focusing on. I don't really care if like my kitchen bench.
Can't do it all.
Yeah, I can't do it all.
I love that.
Yeah. Okay. So you're a new mama. Congratulations on your beautiful little Coco. So let's start with the headline. Your postpartum journey ultimately led you to become the co-founder of Vital Bits. So walk us through that.
Okay, I'll give you the Cliff Note version without sparing any of the juicy details. So I had I love positive birth stories. Mine was what I'll call a spicy birth, but super positive. I got a beautiful baby out of it. I'm an actress. I used the word playful as the adjective I wanted my birth to be. I should have been more specific. I definitely got playful. But trust the actress to have the dramatic birth, right? You know, the sepsis scares, the inductions, all of this kind of thing. Ultimately, a forceps delivery. Beautiful baby girl, very happy. I had a 3A tear and a episiotomy, and basically just kind of, I think I asked my OB, I was like, how many stitches did I get? And I think he said that the medical term was a fuck ton.
Ooh.
So a lot of fun stitching. What that meant that in my recovery, when I was in hospital, got given a like baby nappy to use as an ice pack because you're only supposed to ice for like 40 minutes or it can become dangerous. And I had quite severe bleeding. And so when I went to finally go to the bathroom after my catheter was out, I pulled down my Vital Bits disposable brace. And with this nappy in it, and the nappy had dried to some blood and unraveled quite a significant amount of my stitches as I pulled them out. Did that make your toes go all gross? So that was kind of like an instance that happened. I then had been very generously gifted some Vital Bits products and included these frozen pads. So what's cool about them is they snap frozen, so they don't have to be put in a freezer. They snap and they freeze. So they're cool and they still absorb because this was the issue that I was having was like, what do I prioritize? Bleeding out or cooling and healing? Mm-hmm. And so this pad, I was like, this is amazing. Let's order the whole store. Let's get some more of these quick smart to birth care. And so that was sort of my introduction to that brand. Since my birth injury has continued, I have a double prolapse. So you can get prolapse, and sorry if this is super patronizing, but in case people don't know.
No, I don't know. So
you can have a prolapse, which is like a downward sort of pressure of your uterus, and it can appear in like wheeze. So your front urinary tract, your vagina, or your butt. And I am an overachiever, so I'm doing 2 out of 3 of those. So that wheeze, vagina's fine. Just in case anyone's wondering, and my butt. So it basically feels like I've got a bowling ball in my butt at all times. So I'm still, which causes some incontinence. So whilst I'm 8 months postpartum, I'm still having to use a lot of these Vital Bits products, which is like the peri bottles, the disposable briefs to help me with my incontinence. So how the journey with Vital Bits came about was I'm a consumer of their products. Found out that 2 of the 3 other co-founders, they're all mums, were in Pawanili over sort of summer. I heard whispers that they were amazing women and that they'd started this company because they had a very similar experience to me where they needed and couldn't source quickly products to help them postpartum. These products are readily available everywhere in the States. They are only available here in New Zealand from 4 sort of competitors on the market. So I met with these ladies really only just to be like, hey, I'd love to share my story with you. I think more people should know about this. These products were hugely beneficial to me in my care and continue to be. You know, other than me doing a story, I would like to get involved a little bit more. Kind of feeling like I was standing on a soapbox and I'm some hero to the internet that like, I have a big audience who would love this. Like, let me tell them. And in talking to these women and hearing how they all came about, Leah, Shani, and Fallon, all from a similar mindset, I put my hand up and was like, hey, this could be a really cool thing for me to do. I'm really organically passionate about it. I've never stepped into this space. I watch a lot of Ears videos about how to become a woman in business and being like, you need a product. You can make money while you're sleeping. And I'm like, that sounds amazing. So it really was from a genuine place of wanting to work with them. To me, I feel like my mission is really clear. I have a beautiful, engaged audience who are on this ride of motherhood either with me, either they've done it before and they're doing it in hindsight, or it's reflective and it's emotional and beautiful for them. They're walking this path with me, or they're on their pregnancy or fertility journey. And so it makes sense as we're all women, as we continue, these products are great for like perimenopause, menopause, if you have fissures or hemorrhoids or anything else with that undercarriage area.
Mm-hmm.
And no one had really, not knowing, that's so arrogant. Not many people had been showing up on the internet sharing birth injury stories and how they're dealing with it. So I did feel that coming on with Vital Bits, making these products readily available is my mission, my real goal. And I include our competitors in this conversation as well, because I don't have scarcity mindset. These products should be easier for Kiwi women to get. You shouldn't have to go online and get them. They should be available. If I can get, I don't know, lubricant or nappies or tampons, I should be able to get things to help me in that window of time, especially when it's needed. So it's a very long-winded answer, but that's sort of the origin story from my involvement with Vital Bits.
I love that. I was gonna say it's probably I'm testing more of an awareness thing. Like, there's not enough people talking about it. Therefore, people maybe don't even know these products are available, and then they just deal with, or they just use whatever the hospital gives them.
Yeah.
And that's probably the conversation that needs to be.
Yeah, and it's like there are other uses for them too. I think it's hard to, when you're pregnant, you obviously want to project like, I will be fully intact and not tear, not need these products. But that would be my thing. If you know a pregnant person or someone, like, get them these care packs so they have it if they need it, because it's almost too late at that point. Or you might have a frozen diaper situation, which is
Not idea.
not ideal. Let's not freezing diapers. So, and it's a nice gift to give someone too. It's thoughtful. You'll use it. There are many other uses as well. So it's not going to waste if you don't have a situation like mine.
Yeah, it's so interesting because like I had a little scroll on Vital Bits last night, having looked through the website, and I was looking at things and I was like, this is genius. I'd never thought of like needing any of these products. Obviously, I don't have a baby, but I know a lot of my friends have had kids, and I'm like, oh, like all of these amazing products exist, and it's so cool. But then you said there's actually only like 3 companies that create this stuff in New Zealand. So, because I'm thinking, I just don't know because I haven't had a baby yet.
But it's also, you don't know what you don't know. Like, for some people, like I use a peri bottle every time I go to the bathroom, which is like it's like a little shower for your undercarriage. You just fill it with water and you wash away. Similar to, I guess, a bidet would be used, right? But, when I do get my period back, I'm like, I will totally still use a period bottle because like that keeps things fresh. And so there are many like other uses, but if you haven't like you had that experience, you wouldn't know about it. So
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, and I feel like the topics are a little bit taboo still. Like
it's a little uncomfortable to come on your podcast and be like, I'm slightly incontinent. Like, it's not, just trust me, this is not what I wanted to come and talk to you about, but it's happening to everyone. And, women, as we get older and as we get in menopause, things will soften. And so incontinence becomes a huge issue, whether it's leaking or, whichever passage or you might have issues with. Like, that's extremely common for women to be leaking when they're sneezing, coughing, jumping. And so, yeah, we need to have these conversations so people don't feel gross or icky or alone.
Yeah, well, no, I honestly want to say thank you so much for sharing that, because there'll be so many people listening right now and they're like, I've gone through the exact same thing and they probably didn't even know these products existed and maybe have a shame around even talking about it. So, yeah, thank you for being so open and transparent about like that experience.
But fun.
And so, bridging that gap between, so you reached out on social media, was it on social media to Vital Bits, and you're like, I really like this. I'm going to promote more products. How did
I said, could we jump on a call?
Yeah. Hustler mindset. There we go.
I watch. I pay attention. Just to like feel them out, because to me, vibe is really important. Like, I would be quite happy. I've sat here for 20 minutes talking to you guys. I feel quite comfortable that we've got a good, feels good. Hopefully that is energy, isn't it? Energy here. I think that's really important. I'm at a stage in my life. I don't want to work with people who don't share the same zest for life, enthusiasm, go get it. Like, there are certain criteria that need to meet if I'm going to invest my time in anything these days, because my time is limited. And so when I jumped on a Zoom with, it was Leah and Fallon at the time, we were just, it was one of those magic moments that it could have been biscuits that we were talking about, and I would have wanted to work with them. It just happened to be something that we had a shared experience on, and it felt good. It sounds a little woo-woo to be all about the vibes, but I do think it's important. If you're gonna go, like, what's your radar on stuff? How do you do it?
Even like I'm thinking of like getting a team, right? Like it's actually based on like, I would say, a lot of people's personality. You don't want one that does not gel and like causes issues with people on your team. Like, it absolutely is so important. I was gonna say, like, how does the dynamic work between you guys? Who's in charge of what?
Oh my gosh, that's so interesting. I think we all have really interesting skill sets. Like Leah, for example, is amazing at design, amazing at social media. Shawnee is amazing at, I was going to say spreadsheets, but she's so organized and she can manage like the legal stuff. Like, legal jargon immediately makes me feel like an idiot. So, and then Fallon is just business, business, business. She knows what she's doing. She speaks so eloquently.
Yeah, and I think it's so cool that you guys are doing it and taking the lead on it.
Yeah, and we just want to make it like, that's sort of that's the next step, is like, how can I bust down these doors or these gate kept areas, whether it is supermarkets, pharmacies, chemist warehouse, like how can I get these products in there? And that's sort of my new challenge that I'm taking on. So if anyone has any tips, I'm sure you have 1,000. That's the exciting journey. And I love it. I love the challenge. I'm like, we'll get it. We'll figure it out.
Well, awesome. If you're listening right now and we've got some space for Vital Bits, get in touch, please.
Thank you.
So what is your actual role then? Like, what is your like day-to-day with Vital Bits?
That, I would say, because we are very much in startup phase, everyone is over everything. We have a Slack that's going off constantly. We all have lives and children. So we're all just banding together as a team. So our day-to-day is constant communication. Whoever can take the lead on something takes it. And I'm blessed that we are a group that can do that, because especially as a group of moms, you start your day with a beautiful agenda, and I'm sure you can, well, I don't know, your agenda seems pretty onto it, and then the day continues to pivot as it is. So I think that's sort of where we're at the moment, is just kind of like really, really trying to hustle and build and support each other each and every day while Swike is happening simultaneously.
I think the cool thing is, though, that we can be mums in this day and age and still run a business, because you can sort of, because a lot of it's
Doing it
online.
here, yeah, totally. This is how I'm doing it.
Yeah,
Through both of them.
lots online. We've got phones, the internet, laptops.
Yeah.
You really could, wait till your baby's having a nap, get a few 40 minutes in there, wait till they're asleep again, another 40 minutes. Like, it's actually so doable.
And I'm so grateful for it, that I don't have to get up and go somewhere. And although coming here would be quite nice as I drove in, but I don't have to show up at a physical place every day. We're doing it and we're building it online and building the community, and it's growing, and it's been magic. What a better, more beautiful group of people to be working with than mums, new mums, expected mums. Like, there is something so magic about them that they're the best people to be working with and to be helping them.
Yeah.
Dream come true.
And so I feel like there's always debates like, should I have a co-founder or not a co-founder? I feel like also as a you mum, it can be isolating, right? Because it is just isolating. You're at home all day with the baby, and if you didn't have a situation where you had like co-workers or friends or family, someone around, yeah, it's very sad. So I think it was actually really nice that you had this community of people with you, and you also have like a bit of a purpose of, we need to grow this as well. This is another baby of mine,
Totally.
my baby and this baby.
Yeah, we've got the Vital Best baby. And I think too, it's like also what a beautiful time to be a female run business in this country. Like the support that I see through all your brands, through Vital Bits, it's like women are showing up for each other in some pretty beautiful numbers. I vote with my dollar. If there is a way that I can support a Kiwi female run business or family owned business, that's where I'm spending my money. And I think it's a really cool time because I believe that a lot of women are doing the same because they're like, yeah, I want to support that mum's not side hustle, but hustle. So she can stay home with her baby or she can go to swimming sports or whatever stage of life that baby's at, I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I think very much like post-COVID, the world has just changed. We all got to work from home, and now like the way that lots of people are creating businesses and starting side hustles and stuff, it's like it's just so much more accessible. Like everyone can just do all these jobs from the laptop, and you've just got like an opportunity that people wouldn't have had before being mums. They'd have to take a 5-year gap from the workforce before they got back into
to build somebody else's dream.
Yeah.
This is cool. This is 2026 is a great time to be a woman and a mum, or a mum to be in the future. It's not as scary anymore because we've got we're like rallying behind each other, and it's super cool. I love it.
Yeah, inspired.
Yeah.
So briefly touched on like postpartum. What was your postpartum experience? You did say it was a little bit rough. If I really so.
I am type A, as in like I had organized in my mind the version of myself that would show up postpartum, and she has yet to enter the chat. Like, I don't know where she is, lurking in the sidelines somewhere, or it was just never meant to be that way. But I will say that I think this journey has cracked me open in a really beautiful and interesting way. I struggle with it sometimes because I do have a perfectionism complex. I am addicted to achievement. I feel like that has always been my drug of choice, is like good girl syndrome, achieving, validation. So to be someone who has like got incontinence and vulnerability and doing this motherhood journey for the most part on my own, like it is in 2 different countries, it has been harder to recognize myself. That doesn't mean it's a worse, better version. It's just different. And doing it publicly feels scary and thrilling at the same time. So it's more about, I don't feel like I'm wrapped in a little nicely gift wrapped bow. It's very much is what it is. And that's beautifully uncomfortable for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We love that.
It's supposed to be. I just thought that I would nail it, and it would look different.
Well, I think everyone thinks that they're probably going to have a baby, and
I thought I was going to breathe my baby out. So I don't have no birthing. I'm like, oh, like I was like, don't worry, guys, I fucking got this. Like, very different.
But I think, and as you said, like you're incredibly achievement driven. So like what happens when somebody who's used to being very capable suddenly can't control like their own body?
It's super uncomfortable. And that's okay. But it's intimidating and it's vulnerable in ways that you couldn't have imagined. Yeah, like especially coming home and having like those first bouts of incontinence while you're trying to nurse and hold a baby. And I just kept yelling for my mom. I was like, oh, Mom, I'm shitting myself. And she's like, it's okay, darling. It's very normal to be nervous. And I was like, no, I'm not nervous. I'm like literally shitting myself. Like, take the baby.
Oh my gosh.
So I think those kind of things, it's like, oh my God, this is a new level of humbled that I thought that I had been very humbled, but obviously I needed to cut it back a few notches, and here I am. But again, I welcome it. It's all fine. It's all working out. I'm being incredibly held by a community of people who have actually experienced all the same thing.
Yeah.
And I write a bi-weekly blog with Capsule where I share all my ick and my yay, and it seems to be being really well received as I embark on this motherhood journey. I also thought there would be a time limit on it of like, then I would figure it out. And it's still unfolding. And everyone keeps telling me that that is motherhood. And as someone who is achievement based, to meet myself in a place where I may never perfect it is really tough for me to come to terms with. And that's okay too. I'll do the very best I can. I continue to show up every day, put on a smile. We got this. The day resets. I learned that from my daughter. No matter how bad, and you say one of your children has trouble sleeping, like no matter how bad the night was, she'll wake up and she'll start the day with a clean slate. And I feel like that's how I'm trying to show up in the world too. But that was yesterday. We got this. Start again.
I actually saw it sort of reminds me, like, I feel so very scattered sometimes too, right? Like our brain, there's so much going on. I'm sure everyone's brains will get scattered. But then I read this post online. It was like, oh, my brain is scattered because I'm literally pre-planning things for my kid. I'm planning what needs to go on the fridge. I am making sure that we make it to all the school or daycare appointments, the doctor's appointments. There are so many things on this list that, of course, our minds are going to be scattered, but like organized chaos and was like, it all gets done.
Can I say you are overachieving already? 8 months postpartum, got a beautiful baby and you're involved in this like business. You were saying before, you were like, oh, I don't know if I'm going to perfect the motherhood. I'm like, mate, can you just take a second and realize that you're doing such good work? You're coming on podcasts, like you're sharing your journey with people. You've, like had a great influence into Vital Bits. Like you're doing great.
Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I do know that. I think it's inherently in me because I always want more.
Yeah.
Bigger, better, right? So that's a challenge.
Yeah.
Where I am will never be good enough because there's always better and more work to be done. So
I think it's a good thing, though.
it is good. Yeah, I love my drive and my ambition, and I know that's something you had as well. It's part of my nature. It's not. It's something that does come naturally. I will always want and look for a bigger, better life. That doesn't mean things and stuff. It's just experience, people, places. Every day should be awesome. Like my expectations of what a life should be are pretty up there, and I'll try and get it right. Like,
and I feel like it's conflicting because I'm like, okay, if I didn't want more, maybe I'd be more content, but then I'd also be quite bored. So do I? What's right? There's no right or wrong.
There's no right or wrong. I think my daughter Coco has taught me a little bit more to take pause. I did really struggle in the early days of like trying to be very hyper productive at all times. So I'm trying to now, when she's awake, to be present.
Yeah.
As I sit here on a podcast while she's wide awake and my mom's looking out at her. So
it's fine.
But when she's asleep, I can be super efficient in that time. Like you said, like you've got like 40 minutes. You can do this. I can do that. So I'm still finding my feeding with that.
Where do you think that overachieving mindset comes from?
Birth. Perfectionism complex, good girl complex. I think my therapist will tell me many things make that true. I think I'm a people pleaser through and through as well. I would rather have validation from you than from myself. And that's been a big thing. And I think if you ever have low self-esteem or low self-worth, you find value in other places. And for me, that was in stuff, like in achieving certain deadlines or things so that I feel of value. I think that's been and is the Kim lesson in life, is that I am enough without all of that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I believe that yet. That's still a journey to me, right? Like I do feel that my achievements are part of me. And so separating that is a difficult thing, So I'm still working on it. But I am very lovable and worth sticking around for all that shit. But
You are 100%.
and I know I am, but it's so much easier for me to seek validation in an achievement, like and be like, I did this, therefore I am, rather than you are enough.
It's the thing is with that, it's so fleeting. Like you do a goal and then you achieve it and you have probably a moment of being like, man, it's like,
Yeah, but the
winning.
chase is what's the drug, though. That's it. It's like you're fighting, it's you against something. You've got to find a way to do it. Like us sadistic ones.
No, I love
The
that.
fun of it, right? It's
100%.
like, you tell me I can't, let me fucking show you I can, So
100%. Yeah.
that's like,
I did a 25-kilometer run through the Sahara Desert last year, like literally to feel that. And I'm like, what's wrong? Like, what's actually wrong with me? But I was like, I just want to feel the pain. I want to like fight against like, and people are like, you don't have to do this. And I'm like, no, but I like achieving stuff. And then literally as soon as that run was done, I was like, oh, what am I going to do now? And I'm like, oh my God, can I just take like 5 seconds just to congratulate myself for getting here?
Well, no, you're
Yeah, no, I'm not. I'm like booked another half marathon. Yeah.
The challenge is the fun.
It's the challenge. Yeah.
right?
The journey.
And knowing what your limits are, because as you reach that limit, you then grow. So your capacity grows. And I think anyone who has growth mindset would tell you the same thing, right? And it's like but yes, you have to balance that with those moments of the things that you're not caring about, the meditation, the self-care, whatever that is. So, and to learn a lot of that as I was trying to conceive, because I am so strangling life. That's like a big contender to not be able to conceive. So that was the whole woo-woo journey that I had to go on to try and rest and digest, they call it. Yuck and yuck, I was calling it. But it was healthy for me.
I was going to say, has this mindset changed at all since being a mum though?
No, I think the thing that has shifted is understanding my capacity. And I listened to this great podcast, and they equated it to grief. Not that my postpartum journey is one with grief, but when you're in grieving, your priorities realign really beautifully. You don't bother with messaging that person who's a punish, or you don't go and see that person who drains you. Like grief really pulls into perspective those things. And I think in postpartum, because my capacity has been limited, as it should be, a lot of my energy is now pouring into my daughter. I think that's probably the biggest shift, is that I can see more clearly where and who my time should be spent with. And I couldn't do that on my own. I would often regularly give energy, time, and resources to people who either didn't pour back into me or didn't deserve, sounds like a too strong a word, but didn't. They were more takers than givers. There wasn't a balance.
Yeah.
And so I would have to do this practice of calling my energy back to me during the day, because I gave it out so freely. And I didn't have anything left for myself or the people I cared for. I was a punish to my mom. I was a punish to the people like who I actually care about, because I've given everything away.
Yeah.
So that was a big practice I had to learn. It's like, at the end of the day, call my energy back so I have some in my cup for me.
Do you think that's like an age thing too, though? Like, okay, we do these things, we hopefully learn from them. Like, give your energy, you don't get it back, you feel disappointed, and you think, oh, maybe I won't do it again. Over time, like learnings over time.
Yeah, I just kept learning the same lessons. I wasn't learning. I guess that's it, right? It's like, I think when something's inherently in your nature, you repeat it until you're forced not to. And I think it took Coco and Motherhood to really put things in perspective for me. Because there was no consequence otherwise. It was only me that was tired. It was only me that was ratty. It didn't have a huge ripple effect beyond that. Now it does. So I've been forced to course correct.
Yeah. It's that
Stubborn, I think they call it stubborn.
But I was going to say, it's like that's all like very much like people pleasing mentality. And so it's good that, like you've recognized you've had a baby and you're like, it's not just about like me anymore. And I need my energy for this, like you said, priority in my life. And yes, I'm glad to hear that it's all kind of like switched for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it on my own.
Yeah.
I've done so much therapy, courses, but
it's also the industry that you're in though. I feel like it's I'm
an out of work actress. I'm like, I'll do and be anything for you if you pay me money. Like, that's kind of like the baseline.
Yeah, but I guess like even in that, like what is acting, it's like you're there to entertain people. You're there for other people, to make them laugh, to make them smile. And that's probably why, like you're such a great actress and you're so great at your job, is because you can do that. And then it's like, where's the off button where you don't have to do that every single day to lots of people in your life that maybe don't matter?
I guess it's hard to pull acting analogies because it is honestly my favorite thing in the entire world.
Yeah.
Like, you probably talk about flow or state of flow, right? When you've got an idea and it's just working. The moments between action and cut are like probably the only time in life I'm fully present. I have anxiety and depression. So there is a voice like future problem solving and a voice being like, you did shit, you swore, you shouldn't do, like, dealing with what's already happened.
Yeah.
Between action and cut, it's quiet. and I'm fully present and I'm having the best time. It is like a drug. I chase it daily. I would act all day, every day. Please.
Someone
It's-
give me a
yeah,
role.
please, I'll do everything. But that's it. Like I really it is my first love, an unparalleled magic like anything else. Like I don't know anywhere else in my life that I had that feeling apart from motherhood now. But that's constant, right? But those acting experiences, like it's my dream. It's 100% my dream. I love that.
So you've been very open and very vulnerable on your podcast, Pretty Depressed. Do you think that like now sharing this postpartum journey feels like a different level of vulnerability for you?
Totally. 100%. But that's okay too. I every time I've been afraid to share something because it feels vulnerable, the stories I make up in my head of how it's going to be received or pushback or whatever, none of that has ever existed. Okay, not none of it. There are a few people who pop up who have no profile fic or whatever and will be super fun. Super
The
fun.
trolls.
Man.
Yeah.
Super fun trolls. But every time I've been scared to share, it's taught me now, like, then it's important to share. If there's if I can handle it, I can dip my toe in a bit and be like, okay, this is part of it. So yeah, doing Pretty Depressed was the first example of that. That was the scariest time of my life, shining a spotlight on it and sharing it to the world and worried that people would respond poorly was really scary. I didn't get any of that. This was sort of before everyone was doing podcasts about mental health. So it was untested at that time in New Zealand. So yeah, I'm grateful that when I felt nervous and shared, it has ultimately created community and safety versus scary.
And are you getting a lot of messages from other women and mothers now?
Yes, totally. And I
Yeah.
also welcome it. I ask for advice. I'm like, what do I need to do here? Is this rash okay? Like, what is this? Yeah, totally. I'm like, what is this? And I think that's been really cool. Mums are the most amazing people on the internet. One, they're up at all hours, so you can talk to them any time of day.
Anytime.
And everyone has a different experience and are happy to share it. You know, like people always say unsolicited advice, but solicited advice, if I'm asking for it and you have a way to pour into me, please do. Like it means I don't have to do all the research that could be ill-meaning, you know? I can get real first-hand experience. That's amazing.
And a lot of that, like, information kind of isn't there. Like, I think as women in women's health, we run a lot of, like, anecdotal information because there's so much, like, research that hasn't been done about things. Like, even in how we said before, going back to there was only 3 companies in New Zealand that actually sell these products. It's like, I mean, we've all got stories as women, like, we go to the doctors and it's a problem with, like, our periods or something, and we just don't get taken seriously. To actually have this community of people and mothers around you where it's like you can communicate so openly. It's a job well done.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I'm, as someone who has a birth injury and prolapse, I feel I had never had that experience. I know a lot of women with like endometriosis or whatever, like that journey sounds horrible, like 10 years and you're having to like be gaslit about all your symptoms. That sounds awful. So, yeah, I think it is important to talk about it so people can go, oh no, that I am experiencing that. I do feel validated. I'm not being ridiculous, and get it checked. And 100% when it comes to pelvic floor, please go and see someone because the work you can do with the pelvic floor therapist in that window postpartum is so much more vital than trying to do it when you're going through menopause, or we should all be doing our Kegel. You know,
Doing them right now.
you have to blink with your butthole. That's the other one. You got to try and blink with your butthole.
Oh my gosh, okay.
Do that too. Yeah. Sorry to be so crass on your beautiful business podcast, but
Yeah, okay, you also brought up like menopause. I feel like that's another thing, a topic that is also now people are speaking more openly about. And actually I've seen a couple of menopause additional supplements and things that once upon a time they were not available. There are like cooling pillows and products actually for people with these now traditionally taboo topics, which I think is amazing. So I think like, okay, yes, if there is something, a problem you are experiencing as a human being, talk about it, share it, build a business around it for sure. There's other people suffering with the same things.
100%, especially women. And I think that's it. It's like menopause was always the like, and perimenopause, these like topics, right? but I have low AMH. I'm knocking on the door probably of that chapter coming sooner than I would like it to. And yeah, there are so many ways that we can be supported, products that can support us, information that can support us through that journey as well. So yeah, it's important to talk about.
Mhm.
Just on that, like how important is like a lived experience when you're building a brand around a problem like this?
Well, I've not done it before. So I think the real question, which should probably be here around that. I didn't know any other way. Could I have gone into chocolate bickies because I love them? 100%. I love them. Delicious. I think it's just a more compelling story, and I would rather spend the hours of my day doing something that I know helped me and will help somebody else. But this is all new territory for me. So I don't know if I can answer that. That's probably a you question.
I feel like, okay, there are two
As I
types of
take a
people.
sip of my...
brew oat caramel coffee. There you go. It's delicious. I was gonna say, yeah, I feel like there's two types. Like there's the business owner that really wants to find something that is a part of their life and they're really passionate about. Then there's also a business owner that they are passionate about building a really nice life for themselves. And I don't think either is right or wrong. You're totally right. Just depends on like what does that person want to do during the day. If you're selling a kid's product, you're probably going to be talking to mums and doing community mum events around those products, like sort of live and breathe that. Versus if you're selling the biscuits, who would you be spending your time with? Other supermarket people, like other people in that field. So think of the day-to-day. It does actually affect your day-to-day of running that business.
And I don't know any different. I've not worked in products before, right? So I'm new at this, and that's why I'm so grateful I have the support of my co-founders, because this is a new space for me, right? I've not done this before. So I'm excited that it is something I'm so passionate about and I can speak to it. On that note, I do also love Chucky Bickies. So yeah, maybe it will be first cab off the rank and I'll love it and it will teach me, or I'll take lessons and launch something else as well. But at the moment,
Do you know what we can add?
what?
The lactation biscuits.
Cookies. We can make cookies.
There we go.
Do you know sometimes I show my clients, I'm like, look at this, because my clients are coming to me and be like, I don't know if my business idea is good. And I'm like, look at these cookies. Do you know they're just ordinary cookies, really? But they're technically pregnancy cookies. Therefore, pregnant people buy them.
I'm guilty. I eat them all the time. I'm like, it's fine. I can eat them because they're helping with my milk supply. Yeah.
But what's in them
Are
that's
they
good
or
for
are they-
lactation?
Oats.
I mean, okay, look, if we break it down, they are biscuits, that are formulated, with XYZ benefits for pregnant people, but they're technically just still biscuits.
Yeah.
But they are delicious. And if you feel guilt-free eating yum cookies in the middle of the night, so I'm like, I have no milk supply. I have to eat the cookies. Then go for it.
I remember when I was pregnant and I got gifted some, and my team, I brought them to work. My whole team were eating them.
Of course, because they're so thick.
They're delicious.
And then the whole team started lactating.
Yeah. Imagine that. Imagine if someone is like, they're like, no, they have relevant. You shouldn't be doing this.
Wow, this marketing's great. Do you think that there's any skills from being an actor and an entertainer that has really helped you as a founder?
Yeah, I'm not scared of rejection or failure. They don't scare me literally at all. I think that's two of the best life lessons in anything I do. I get rejected most of the time. It has zero effect on me, really. Like, I can pick myself up and go again. I'm not afraid to do anything. My job as an actor requires me to do the weirdest things in the weirdest settings that are so bizarre that I don't have any fear. So I get to navigate this space. Everything is net positive. If it's a rejection, it's just a no on the way to a yes. It's like so easy for me to fall into that mindset because of being an actor. It's the best setup. And it's prepared me for motherhood too, because I don't have a schedule. Like, all the things that acting has taught me has prepared me so well to make this journey in business and motherhood so much easier for myself. Yeah.
And that is the biggest superpower. That is, I feel like, literally, that is the number one reason why people don't do things. It is the fear of failure, fear of rejection. It is the sole reason a lot of the time.
I mean, I've auditioned for, if you haven't caught up, my name is Kim Crossman. I auditioned for a show for a Kim Crossman type. I auditioned first of all, I was like, I just have to audition. It'll be a protocol. Like,
Yeah.
I didn't get it. Are you kidding me? Who's more Kim Crossman than me? That
No.
was like the biggest rejection last year. I was like, I can't even believe myself. Like, is it a better version of me? What did I used to be? So, like I've had all the rejections you could think of.
Well,
Like,
first of
it's
all, how
wild.
dare they? How dare they?
Exactly.
Yes.
But still hilarious. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just lost out on a job against Cindy Sweeney, but I'm also like, that's okay.
I want to talk about Vital Bits.
Yep.
A little bit. What is your favorite product in Vital Bits?
2 things. Definitely the disposable underwear because I use them all the time.
Mhm.
I'm glad that I'm a founder so that I can do that. And the other thing is these icy absorbent pads. They snap frozen. They can absorb as well. Only thing on the market at the moment that can do both. You don't have to prioritize one or the other. Magic. Absolute magic.
Love that. And do you think that have you thought of anything that you're like, oh, guys, or have you had any feedback from people online and now you take it back to the team and you're like, what about creating a product like this?
100%. I
Yeah.
spend a lot of time in America, so I'm like,
Yeah.
got it. I've done your course, and I'm like, find something else. You can do it too.
Yeah, cool that you found picked some from the US. I feel like looking at the US, the UK, all the good ideas start there, and then just bring them to New Zealand, Australia. Works really well.
Getting free business advice. This was the ruse that I was in, sitting here.
Ask her more questions like,
Yeah, totally. I've got a list on my phone. Like, what? Say a friend was going to get.
This is like idea I've seen from one of those countries, like
Yeah.
shapewear, UK company, gift boxes. I saw from an Aussie company, hair tools, Aussie and UK. Well, New Zealand, we get everything last.
Yeah.
We really do.
We're a couple of years behind.
We are.
Yeah.
So like great opportunity if you are in New Zealand. Look overseas. Go to Japan. I think I've seen people go to Japan recently. Korea for skincare. Lots of things that can be done.
Yeah. I was going to say, I think, speaking of Japan, sorry, this is like such a segue, but like, how they've got the vending machines everywhere, but I was just imagining like a vending machine in a bathroom, but with all like Vital Bits and like girl products and stuff in there.
Well, at the hospital, I feel like that would work.
Yeah.
It's like you guys are in our Zooms. This is what we talk about. We're like, yes, this should be. So yeah, we've done the costing on it.
Have you? Great.
Totally. I'm like, Kylie Jenner can do it, then I can do it with.
Of course. Of course you can. And okay, so what would need to happen in the next like 5 years for you to really be like, joining Vital Bits was the best decision of my life?
Oh, it already is. I don't need to wait 5 years. I think to be able to speak to this audience feels so aligned where I am right now. So I don't need to wait 5 years. Of course it is. It gives me opportunities like this to speak to people, to get it in front. My mission is just make it more common, whether it's us or our competitors. I keep saying that because it's not us, them. It shouldn't be. New Zealand's too small. We all need to make these accessible. Like, we're all at different price points as well. Everyone is great, right? So it's just trying to find the space. I think if in 5 years, a man knows what a peri bottle is and you can go and get one if you need it for whatever undercarriage need you have, as you can buy a tampon, that to me, I'd be like, great, thanks, New Zealand. We've done it. Women are taken care of.
Yeah.
Because I speak of my incontinence now, like, sorry to tell you, anyone who's going through menopause, like, if you have a softening now, it's going to progress. So you're going to need to have stuff at the ready and feel confident using it, So that would be my 5-year goal, is just that it's just as toilet paper. It's just as period underwear,
Yeah, 100%. And that men know all about
I
it
don't
as
know
well.
why that's it, but I just feel like that's the thing, right? Where it's like, do you know what a waterline is?
Yeah.
Questions that you're supposed to ask men, and if they know.
Oh, look, I feel like my husband still doesn't want to know about a period on D. He's like, absolutely, do not show me those.
Sure, but like, I guess that would be success, right? Is that
If it's just normalized.
it's just it's just another thing that you can buy.
Yeah. Well, we're so excited to see where this goes.
too.
And okay, so entertainer, now businesswoman and mommy. What is next for Kim Crossman?
I'm writing a book. I wrote one about 13 years ago. And I've been writing. I'm so unhinged though. Like, it's such an interesting time to be writing. But yeah, I've been working on it for about 1.5 years, and it's getting exciting because I'm finding my flow with it. I really enjoyed writing my blog for Capsule, and it's given me more confidence as a writer. I also was never a diary girl. I was too scared of putting my thoughts on paper. And now that I'm doing it, I'm like, what a healing process to write. So, yeah, I'm convinced.
Ask you about that process. Like, I don't know if you can talk about this or not, but how does it, so you write the book and then what happens?
What do you mean?
You go through a publisher or you self-publish? I don't know.
I'm going through a publisher. So I wrote one back when I knew everything in my peak about 13 years ago. And I had a publisher with that. Similar with this one. It's just I'm writing about what I'm going through currently. And that's when I say it feels unhinged because it's not reflective. My other book was like to this point. This is as things are happening and it feels scarier, because you don't have the years under your belt to be like back when and, revisionist history.
Yes.
You can kind of, speak about things. So, yeah, that's.
And then it's like it's worked out when you're
Yeah,
writing.
right now I'm like,
Definitely.
I don't know how this is gonna end.
Yeah.
It's like writing a film, I guess,
Yeah.
you might have an idea, but writing TV series, it has to keep developing. So it's similar to that. I'm like, I don't know how it's gonna end.
Thank you so much for being so honest with us. It's
Thanks.
very insightful. I feel like this has been a really helpful episode for mothers, people that want to start a business who are mothers, just in general, maybe people with incontinence.
Yeah. Very niche group of Venn diagram that I'm there.
Yes, this episode is specifically for those people. But if this episode did get you thinking about your own story or experiences, what you've lived through, and potentially that being a successful business, get in touch with our Make It Happen team. We'll help you get that business up and running. The link is in the show notes. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss what's coming next. Thank you so much, Kim, for being here.
Thanks, Kim.
Thank you guys so much. How fun. Thank you. It's great.